And welcome to Athlete Institute here in Orangeville, and we have the OSBA Game of the Week, and you can also catch us here on Bears TV. We have the AI Prep taking on Vaughan Secondary School, and of course, my name's Ryan Greco, and I'm being joined by the wonderful and talented Tony McIntyre today.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. Looking forward to this.
Absolutely. So we'll have myself doing play-by-play. Tony's going to be adding a little bit of color to this game. Of course, Tony, now this is actually a rare opportunity for all of us here listening on the broadcast, because you're somebody who knows pretty much almost all of the ins and outs of the OSBA and the league, and what do you think you should be expecting out of this game here, specifically coming from Vaughan Secondary School? First off.
Well, I think, Vaughan being in their first year, they're going to come in and they're going to compete. Obviously, you kind of look at their bench right now and they got a lot of injury problems and guys sitting out. But Gus does a great job with his team. He always has them prepared, and he's in the gym with them, and probably one of the better coaches in the OSBA right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I had a chance to talk to Vaughan head coach Gus Gymnopoulos before the game, and he was just telling us how guys like Cassius Small-Martin, a guy who's a big factor, starting player on their team, is dealing with a couple of injuries right now. Also, a few other guys like William Tran, who, if you guys had been watching the OSBA Game of the Week last week, he had actually injured his ankle, and he's still on the sidelines right now recovering from that. It's going to be a tough challenge for Vaughan going up against AI Prep today. So, Tony, what can we expect as far as AI Prep so far today?
Well, I think they're really going to try to come out to a quick start. They've had some slow starts recently, and I think they're going to try to set the tone early and start to get into it. It's going to be tournament time coming up on Christmas for both of these teams. So, I think they're starting to prep for away tournaments in Ohio and Nevada.
Yep. And that's where the real fun begins, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So we've got the tip-off, and it was won by Vaughan. So going into the basket here, that is O'Shane Taylor Douglas. And he was such a big factor for Vaughan last week in the OSBA Game of the Week on that big comeback that they just fell just a little short. Now here, AI Prep with a chance to respond. Juggy Blair with the ball up top. He gets that over to Tyler Plummer. Plummer looking for an option. Gets it back out to Juggy. He's going to settle for the three there, and he drains it. And AI Prep with a response right away here to make it 3-2. Vaughan right back, no good. Rebound, AI Prep. Howard Washington now bringing the ball up to Plummer in the corner. Plummer loses it, gets it back. Over to O'Shea Brissett in the corner. No good. Little long. Rebound, Vaughan. TD with the ball now. He's going to bring it up. Looking for options. We've got AI Prep in a 3-2 zone to kick off this game on defense. That's Taryn Todd now. Todd loses it to Brissett. Brissett with the ball now. Gets it over to Washington. Washington takes it in himself. Easy layup. AI Prep up 5-2 right now. TD bringing it up. Looking for some options. See if they can break this zone defense. Tries to do it himself. No good. Over to Plummer. Plummer up and in. He gets it and one. Now, Tony, I just want to go back real quickly to that last play we saw there. Now, it's one thing to get your star players going early on, but he did have a wide open look into the corner there. What do you think your thoughts are on something like that?
Well, I think early, O'Shea had a good bucket to start off the game, and I think he's really looking to lead the way with some of the guys out. And I think Gus will make some adjustments there, but I think O'Shea's going to have to be a key guy taking the weight of this team on his shoulders today.
Yeah, absolutely. Now here, Vaughan off the rebound, up and in. That's Taylor Douglas again. No good. Big rebound, though. But Vaughan gets it back. Showing a lot of fight in the early going here. Nice crossover there on Brissett. Goes up to the basket. No good, just can't finish. That was Taryn Todd. Now Brissett on the other end. Up and under, no good. Out of bounds, that's going to be Vaughan ball. Great attack there by O'Shea Brissett, but he's definitely going to have to try and get a little bit softer at the rim there, don't you think?
I think either softer or go up and try to dunk that on him. I think it's a strong, hard finish at the rim is, going into college next year, he's going to have to really muscle up on that.
There's a three, no good. And that is Cassius Small-Martin, who was dealing with an injury earlier. He's getting his shot off there. And there's the three by Brissett. And that's going to be an important part for him in the college game as well, establishing his three-point shot.
Yeah, absolutely. It's critical, and he's showing you he could get to the rim, he could shoot it, and he's going to be a great college player, that's for sure.
There's the putback. That's Joseph Thomas, another big factor for Vaughan on this team. They're going to be successful tonight. Plummer, what a finish there.
Great finish there. That's Tyler's game, attacking the basket.
Goes up and in. Just misses it. Now AI Prep on the comeback. Quick 12-4 lead in this first quarter. Brissett again for three, no good. And Javon Blair gets the rebound over the smaller defender. Here's Plummer. Plummer back to Washington. Washington for three, and you can count it.
Howard's outstanding three-point shooter, led this summer at the Oladipo camp, one of the top three-point shooters, and led the camp in assists and scoring, so he could kind of do a little bit of everything. Good point guard to have on your squad, no doubt.
Yes, he is, and now Vaughan looking for a response. They're up and in, trying to find the basket, no good. And AI Prep getting off to a quick start here. And what a pass there by Brissett. Inside, and that's Jordan Lyons, what a finish.
Yeah, absolutely. Jordan's an athletic guy, and anything around the rim, he's going up to dunk it. It's his game. That's what he looks to do, no doubt.
Absolutely, and there's Juggy Blair showing off a little Rajon Rondo move going to the basket. Now Vaughan down 19-4, and this is actually going towards exactly what you were saying earlier, Tony, with the idea of we have AI Prep getting off to a quick start.
Yeah, it's one of the first times this season that they've really got after it quickly, and I think that's been a point of emphasis over the last couple days, especially at practice, is to, try to get a good quick start and stop playing from behind. Which, I watched your guys' telecast last week, and it was something where I think they were down almost 20 at the end of the first quarter. And,
yes, they were.
And really changed it in the second quarter, but they got to start games like that.
Absolutely, and there's O'Shea Brissett going on. And we also just want to, of course, give a little bit of love there to the fantastic play Vaughan just put together with Cassius Small-Martin and James Canlis under the basket. A great give and go and finish, especially against, trying to going through the forest right now for these guys, for some of these Vaughan players.
Cassius is a great player. I mean, he's got a great body, and you mentioned he's struggling through injury, but he does everything for this team, and he's, just definitely outstanding with whatever he does on the floor, whether it's getting to the bucket, shooting it, and he's a major piece of this team.
Definitely. And that's what the most important thing to see is O'Shea Brissett, unable to make that first free throw. Misses the second. 19-6 right now for AI Prep. And here we go. We're going to see if we see that connection one more time. A little strong on the three-pointer.
It's a good feed, though. That's what they got to do is be able to share that ball and make AI work on defense.
Absolutely. The corner, Javon Blair with the ball back. Over to Foreman, Mason Foreman. No good. Got a good release off, just a little short that time.
It's a great rebound. He's got to squeeze that. Definitely, they got to take opportunity of every time they get their hands on the ball here to try to get back in this game.
No, absolutely. Vaughn's going to need to use every single possession they get right now. No second chances to AI Prep if they want to keep themselves within reaching distance of this game. What a finish there by O'Shea Brissett under the basket. Great body control. And here's the long pass and right back. And that's James Canlis showing no fear, going right at Brissett, finishing under the rim. We've got Kwawakume now on Blair. And there's Freeman inside. He's looking for a pass. I think there was no cut though. Now Vaughan. Kwawakume right to the basket, finds it and finishes it. And he's quite the little speedster. If you give him room, he can work.
He is. He's fun to watch. He's quick. He's good with the ball. And he's going to look to put some buckets up, that's for sure.
There's Washington showing what he does best. Just a knockdown three-point shooter. So athletic as well. Now Kwawakume going to try and do it himself. Gets the foul. I think that's a very good take by Kwawakume.
No, it is. He just got there, and he's got to be aggressive. I mean, they need to get penetration and some pitch outs, and they did a good job every time they got in the paint, getting a paint touch pitch out. So I think if they keep doing that, they're going to be able to at least space out this defense a bit.
Absolutely. There's another opportunity for them to do just that, especially when you have I think they've moved over now to a man-to-man defense, so.
It's a good take.
Yes, very good take. That's Cassius Small-Martin for everybody at home, finishing at the bucket there. Now we've got Washington. Washington, he's going to take a deep three, take a chance. I think that's a bit of a heat check there, Tony.
That's definitely a heat check right there. Hit a couple and keep going back.
There you go. There's a corner three, no good. That was Enrique Rodriguez with the attempted three there. Washington, nice find inside to Juggy Blair, and he finishes. And Javon Blair now coming into one of his prime seasons here for Athlete Institute. A lot of expectations for him this year.
Yeah, I mean, this is his senior season. He needs to, solidify his scholarship options and be able to move on to college next year. So I think, you're seeing him kind of develop from last year and, not just sitting outside shooting threes, is trying to facilitate a little bit more and get to the bucket a little bit more. So I think, he's adding to his game from what we've seen him through grade 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, and now correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think the one thing that a lot of D1 coaches are looking for more than anything is movement. Can a player, it's all about the systems in D1, so they want to see guys that can be able to consistently move the ball and just be a part of the cog in the machine. And, I think to your point, that's something that Juggy's been really trying to work on this year. There's Kwawakume trying to go again, just showing no fear right now.
Still a good take. I mean, he's just got to finish that, but he's getting to the bucket. He's giving them opportunities.
And you see some of the shorter point guards we have in this league between Jordan Henry, Kwawakume, Stephen Smith, so many of these speedy guys, and just their ability to finish at the rim. It's so impressive, especially when you consider some of the size of these guys they're going up against.
Yeah, no doubt. They're just fearless. They're guys that are, all the coaches will look at and say, listen, you got to be more like that. You got to attack the basket like that. You got to be fearless, and they just show a lot of heart.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's Giovanni Scott, the Jaden Finch rep, finishing under the rim. There's Canlis, a nice rejection there. And that was Addison Patterson with the rejection. And now Blair. Nice little hook.
Addison's first game with AI since the transfer.
And he's making his presence known right away. Kwawakume. Yep.
Legal screen.
Yep. We're seeing feet moving while it's happening, and loving the heart right now, though. He's not agreeing with the referee, but we digress. Yeah, I'm taking a look at the replay here right now. He was definitely a shuffling of the feet, if you will.
Yeah, I think a lot of players don't agree with referees. It's not anything you're ever going to change.
Oh, the least loved people on the court, but they're the ones that make it go.
They definitely do.
Oh, there's a nice rejection, though. He gets a little bit of revenge on Blair right now. There's Patterson back out to Washington. Washington now looking for an opening. Tried to find it inside, no good.
Got to get it up.
Yep, running out of time.
Got 2 seconds left on the shot clock here.
Still going to be inbound. They're going to have to get off a real quick shot. What do you expect here, Tony?
I think something inside. Obviously not.
Hey, made it.
I had two choices there, inside or outside. And,
at least you're only wrong 50% of the time. There's a great finish inside, though, and look at Cassius Small-Martin.
Up the floor.
A rebound, Vaughan. Going back to what you were saying earlier, Tony, taking advantage of every possibility they can get on rebounds, and now going to the basket, staying aggressive.
That's the way they're going to get back in this game. It's not going to be on three-point shooting. It's going to be trying to create things off the dribble and look for those fouls to get to the line for easy ones here.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that up because, when it's so important to be able to kind of – it's one thing for the coaches to try and show you something, but at the end of the day, you're the ones out there playing. You have to be able to recognize what your opponent is good at and what they're not good at. You can't always just rely on the coaching staff to tell you every single time what it is.
Yeah, it's a feel, and that's where, your great point guards and your great players, they know what the coach wants and they understand, attacking, not settling, and, all the things that you'd hope for from a great player. It comes with that feel as well.
Absolutely, and that's Small-Martin making that free throw there. But it's still a considerable lead. AI Prep, 33 points in this first quarter. I'm sure head coach Chris Cabina can be pleased with that. With this team really playing to their potential in this first quarter.
Yeah, definitely. It's they picked up kind of where they left off from TRC the other last time they were on, and
Yeah, a couple of nights ago.
definitely sharing the ball a lot better.
Yeah, I think that was a good game for them at this time of the year as well because they've been so terrible at starting the game, let's be honest. And now, I think a game like that where they're facing a team that really can take them wire to wire has kind of woken them up a little bit as far as, we're not going to be able to walk over everybody. We have to bring it early going. And speaking of bringing it, there it is, those second chance opportunities.
Addison running the floor, and that's, as a coach, you're always emphasizing run the floor. Can't trust that a layup's always made, and there's an opportunity for a bucket and a stat.
And there's some great defense on the other end as well over Small Martin. And then finds it no good, though. Up and in. That's a nice find right there. That was Mason Foreman.
Good first
forward.
quarter.
Yes, absolutely. And that's 39-16 for AI Prep at the end of that first quarter. Vaughan trailing. Tony, if you're the coach of Vaughan, what would you be telling these guys right now after a quarter like that?
I mean, I think I'd be looking at we had some opportunities for some good takes. You had probably another 6-8 points on there, and possibly some more points on free throws if they continue to go to the bucket, and you're at 24, 26 points down 13. I think you just got to be able to start to lock up on defense. You're letting AI do a little bit too much right now, and try to give them a couple changes and then stay aggressive towards the rim.
And speaking of staying aggressive, how do you relay that message to an AI Prep team right now that, as we've discussed before, is known for the slow starts, but today getting off to a quick one?
Well, I think I'd be in that timeout right now saying we put up almost 40 points in the first quarter. We got to set a goal here that we need to be somewhere between 50 and 55 by halftime, and really give them a target and a goal to work towards, rather than waiting for someone to kind of push back on you to be able to get that second push. I really think that you're goal setting at this point and driving them to try to end this early.
Some wise words there from Tony McIntyre, our color analyst for this game of the week here on the OSBA and on Bears TV. And we're just about to get started here with this second quarter in 10 minutes. It is a very long time. Vaughan will tell you that better than anybody. They were down, I believe, by about 25 at one point in last week's game of the week.
I always say it is this league is, with the 24-second shot clock and the 10-minute quarters, you could be down 20-25 going in the fourth and still have a lot of time to get back into these games. They're long.
Oh, what a rejection there. Gets caught out of bounds. That's Giovanni Scott.
Again, it's still a good take. It's good defense, good take. I think they just got to stay aggressive and look to get that as a foul instead of a block. Great shot there.
Fantastic shot. That's Ja'Cory Hunt. Not necessarily as a coach the shot you want to see them take, but if he's got the confidence, by all means, let it fly.
I think he got it in rhythm, and
yes.
He felt like that was a good shot, so you got to let him have it.
Yep. And speaking of in rhythm, there's O'Shea Brissett answering on the other end.
See if they go back to Ja'Cory here again.
Handling the ball is TD. Gets it over. Small Martin. There's another three. That's an air ball. It's a tough miss there. And that can a shot like that, especially after such a good one, can just kill the momentum for a team.
Yeah, it can. I think, as a coach, I think I would have liked to see Ja'Cory get another shot after hitting the three. Try to get him something off a screen or in rhythm on a pitch out, just to see if, give him that little heat check.
Yeah, definitely. There's Brissett. I think he was trying to find an alley-oop there.
Good rebound.
There it is, out of bounds. That's going to be Voyager's ball. And coming into the game is Joseph Thomas. Here we go. We got another opportunity here for Ja'Cory Hunt. Sit over to TD. Thomas. Over to Small Martin. Back to Hunt. And Small Martin.
Got to get it up
Kicks
here.
it out.
2 seconds on the shot clock.
It's a good shot. Just too much O'Shea Brissett in the way. And that shot's no good. A great find inside. There's Giovanni Scott trying to get it up, but he gets his own rebound, puts it back, and there's that extra effort. And he is just a workhorse down there. Long arms, long body.
Super long arms.
Yeah. I don't think he really had to jump to get there, and his hands were already under the backboard. There we go. There's Hunt. And Hunt gets another one.
Just goes back to that point, is you got to find that guy the next trip down for sure here.
Definitely. Prophetic words from Coach Tony McIntyre here. O'Shea Brissett for 3. No good, rims out, but there's the rebound. There's Javon Blair. He's going to try one. No good. But now it's Brissett with the rebound. He's going to go up and in and finds it. Good finish down.
I think the difference right now is AI is really competing on the offensive glass. Vaughan's got to start to box out and try to get their hands back on some of those rebounds, even if it's tips and quick finds there.
Absolutely. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just to say, here comes Ja'Cory up off that screen, but you got to try to get him a touch here.
Absolutely. Guys trying to do it themselves. A pass to nobody inside. And now AI Prep on the fast break. Giovanni Scott trying to find it, but there's O'Shea Brissett to clean it up. And there's teammates looking out for each other, huh?
Even when they're not looking out for each other. No, that goes back to what I said earlier, is running the floor, picking up any missed layups, missed dunks. That's what teammates do, and that, as a coach, is what you emphasize, is run that floor on a made or a miss and help each other out.
Yeah, I think I feel like if I was Jim Anopoulos right now in that timeout, I think I'd be explaining to the guys at this point, because I remember him discussing this before the game, is one of the things we kind of want to emphasize to these guys is when the shots go up, don't even necessarily look at the ball. Use your peripheral vision to kind of find that, but box your guy out. He should be the main focus, because he can't get the rebound if you have him boxed out outside of the red paint, right?
Yeah, and it's, in this game here, is you start to get down, you start to push, you look to try to get something quick that kind of falls into your hands so that you could, get a quick outlet or a quick pass. But they got to really go back to putting a body on the AI players, boxing out, cleaning space, and then secure the ball.
Yes, absolutely. We're just about getting started to get back in here. It is 48-22 for AI Prep. 6:59 to go here in the second quarter. AI Prep looking to continue their undefeated season right now. Vaughan looking for their second victory of the season. They've been on a bit of a skid right now. They're actually on a 5-game losing streak coming into this game.
And they had injuries coming off the Henry Carr tournament. They had a great run at the Henry Carr tournament.
Yes, and the preseason tournament. They actually defeated this AI Prep team.
They absolutely did, and I think it's just a matter of time. This team will be very, very good by the end of the season. Mm-hmm. Christmas, I think, will be a welcome break for a lot of these teams to kind of recuperate and get some players back on the floor.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where the real fun begins, really. That's when, when you get into the new year, you start seeing the showcases and the real travel tournaments and stuff. It's a lot of basketball, but I don't think these kids would trade it for anything in the world.
I mean, it's keeping them out of the malls. It's keeping them off the street. It's it's a great league, and it's a great opportunity for these kids to compete against some of the guys that you're going to be watching on TV next year.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Here we go. Shot up, no good. Fortunately, that's the shot you kind of have to take with only a few seconds left. Now back on the other end, trying to find inside, and there it is. Great finish. What more can you say about Addison Patterson in his first game here with AI Prep?
He seems to be everywhere the ball's falling, and that's one thing about Addison, is he's got a knack for finding the ball.
Goes up, no good. That was Hunt. Bringing it up now is O'Shea Brissett. There's Washington. No good. That's going to be a rebound. Joseph Thomas. Between him and Cassius Small-Martin. This Vaughan team does have some firepower. They just got to try and find the right spots at this point.
Good shot by Ja'Cory again.
There's the finish. The good things seem to just happen whenever he touches the ball on the offensive end.
Yeah, I think it's a key. Guys know where shots are coming from, and that's one of the biggest factors, is if you're going to shoot a lot of threes, you got to know where they're coming from so that you can rebound and get those second chance opportunities.
Absolutely, and there's another defensive board for Vaughan, a much needed one at this point, as they try and break into this lead before halftime that AI Prep has built up. Now in the corner, this is Mongrue loses it. And there's a fight out of
Guys
bounds.
getting on the floor there.
That's it, though. You want to see that hustle from both teams. It's a 26-point game, but don't tell that to Vaughan right now.
Yeah, I think that's what you want to see as a coach, is guys hitting the floor. And I think one of the things that I look for is once a guy hits the floor, I'd like to see 4 guys picking them up, you know.
Absolutely.
It's actually really nice having the clock working over there tonight.
Yes. That was a fun transition there from yesterday when we had Orangeville Prep here. There's Kwawakume, who's came back into the game. And there's a 3. Great find. That's Taryn Todd, who came right off the bench and just stepped up and knocked down that NBA length 3. That is the 3-point line here in the OSBAs. These guys are shooting the same as the guys you see on TV. There's Todd again. They get it over to Small Martin. Martin in the corner for 3. He
2 in a row there. They're starting to heat up on that corner 3.
There it is now, 21-point lead for AI Prep. And this will be a big stop for Vaughan if they can get it. We've got Blair. Blair finds it into Washington. Washington working in the low post, kicks it back out. That's going to be Plummer. Plummer now looking for an option. He gets it back out to Blair. 6 seconds on the shot clock. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blair or Brissett for 3. No good. And that's going to be a rebound taken down by Mershahi. Excuse me. This is Todd. Oh, steal there by O'Shea Brissett. Tried to knock it out. Went off his leg last.
Good defense, good effort, good hustle.
I mean, you look at a guy like O'Shea Brissett. He might be the tallest guy on the floor right now, and he's working as a small forward / shooting guard. I mean, the athleticism on him is unparalleled right now.
Yeah, it is. That's what makes him special, and I think him going to Syracuse next year, that's going to be it's a huge pickup for Syracuse, but it's going to be huge because I think he's highly underrated for everything that he could do on the floor.
This is definitely going to be a year for him to kind of show and prove everybody. And there he is taking a shot, no good. But Giovanni Scott cleaning up the mess, and he's going to go to the line for 2. And I want to go back to Brissett for a second as well, because I had the opportunity to speak with him yesterday for a length of time, and he was discussing how much it meant for him coming from Findlay Prep and seeing how well and how much attention that his teammates were getting there, and how much it motivated him to try and replicate that in a sense. And now here he is in AI Prep. He is kind of quote unquote the man on this team. A lot of people are looking at him. I can imagine that it's almost a bit of a relief for him knowing where he's going to go next year and not having kind of those distractions in a sense. But
yeah, I think any player that you finally make one of the most important decisions in your life, and you know where you're going, and I think it just takes the weight of the world off, and now you're just playing that game that you love with the knowledge that you're just trying to get better every game so that you can prepare yourself to be there. And I think you start to see the best in players. And you look at Orangeville Prep, Aaron Ray, the same thing, weight of the world's off his shoulders.
Yeah, going to Dartmouth. And what a school to go to, honestly.
Yeah, I think you're going to see the same with, point guard from Bill Crothers who committed. And guys are just going to be out there balling.
Yep, there's Brissett going up. Also want to say earlier, Taryn Todd, beautiful corner 3 there, catching it in rhythm, draining it. And it's now just a 20-point lead for AI Prep. And we like I've said before, we've seen 20-point leads evaporate in no time in the OSBA so far this year.
Yeah, long quarters. If you could get a couple stops and get to the line and stop the clock for some easy shots with the clock off, you're right back in these games.
Yeah. There was another interesting, kind of almost a funny thing that he brought up is Brissett was talking about how he's been following Syracuse and their recruitment process so far with a bunch of other players. And he was talking about how one of the other players that they were looking for didn't get picked up. And so that gives him even more motivation to say, okay, I want to give these guys even more reason to get excited that I'm coming because...
Another corner 3 again.
That's it.
I think that was Cassius in the corner there again.
There's a 3 by Washington. And we've got both teams trading 3s right now to close out this first half. Oh, that's a tough shot. Giovanni Scott showing his quickness. Getting right there. There's Brissett in the corner of Washington. Brissett, wide open 3. No good. Just short.
Good rebound there.
And that goes back to Vaughan, focusing on the little things right now. We'll see it here on the replay. And there's that box out, just fighting for it. That was Cameron Vershahi. Now here we go on the other end, Joseph Thomas. And it goes off the foot, Brissett picking it up now. They've got the fast break. What's he going to do with it? Up and in, and finds it. Thinking finger roll, finish dunk. And there's the steal, and he gets it back. And just that length. Trying to find it on the inside, out of bounds. Howard Washington.
Vaughn's got to find something here and get that ball moving again, and see if they could find Cassius.
Here we go. Bit of a missed opportunity there. If they'd given it to Kwakume, they would probably had about a 4-on-2 for a moment. Gets it back now, though. He's going to try and create something. Outside three. No good. Not a bad shot, though. Open space.
It's the guy you want taking the shot that's on the floor right now, definitely.
Yep. There's Plummer.
That's Tyler's game right there.
Gets it in. Gets it under and gets to the line. My goodness, what size. He was imposing his will there a little bit. Going to the basket.
He's got a big, strong body. Loves getting to the bucket and finishes well around that rim.
Yeah, and I would even say right now, he perfectly timed that kind of that body check he kind of gave his defender when he was going to the basket. Creates enough separation to go up and in, and even if he doesn't make it, keeps his hands up, doesn't bring the ball back down, goes back up, gets himself fouled. Now he's got himself a foul shot.
Yeah, and the important thing is he's got the same 2 points here with a rest.
Yep. No good on the second.
Same 1 point.
Don't worry, you'll learn, Tony. We're all learning here. We're all still learning. So am I. Kwakume, no good. That's one of those buckets you need. And now what a find by Brissett. Gets it back and finally puts it in. Sometimes that was one of those things of just being too open.
Those are the ones where you look at the stat sheet after and you got 14 assists and 6 of them on one play.
Yeah.
or rebounds. Sorry.
Yep, that's right. Speaking of performances, Taryn Todd, he's having himself a first half right there, getting the and one.
He is. He's playing well out there. He's getting to the bucket, and you've seen him kind of set guys up as well.
Mm-hmm. No, as we've said before, this Vaughan team, they've got a lot of talent. Really, as you said, we're expecting big things from them in the second half because they've shown time and again that individually they've got a lot of really good players on this team. And there's the throwdown by O'Shea Brissett, finding a little bit of space in there. Taryn Todd looking around going, I thought you had him.
He's playing like a man out there today.
There's Todd over to Small Martin. Small Martin now. Looks like he's going to take on his man himself. 6 seconds on the shot clock. 5, 4, 3, 2. No good on the three. And what a rebound, though.
Beating for that.
That extra effort. And that's the second time now where we've seen Vershahi.
10 seconds left in the quarter here.
Here we go. 8, 7, 6,
flatten that out
5,
and go at him.
4.
He got that foul call.
Yes, he did.
That's good recognition by the point guard there to try to get to the bucket there, especially with that amount of time left on the clock. Now they got to get something good here for the last shot.
And they've been relying in a big way on the three-point shot right now. There it is, looking around, see if they can find it.
Sam Cassius.
Nope. At least he made it.
Got the shot they wanted, just half a second late.
Yes, they did. So here we are at halftime. It's 64-37 for AI Prep over Vaughan Secondary School. Tony, a couple of closing thoughts on the first half. Anything that you think you want to point out more than anything?
No, I just think, what you're seeing right now is AI is really active on the offensive glass, getting a lot of second chance opportunities, getting out in transition where, they're just not getting back quick enough to pick up guys. So I think if Vaughan really, looks to make those adjustments at halftime, I don't know if I'd go to a zone, but they got to try to speed themselves up a little bit to try to get some more easy buckets and then in the half court set, I think they got to really work to try to get, like I said earlier, paint touches and things where they can get some pitch outs or get to the bucket and get fouled.
Well, with that, we are going to have about a 9-minute hiatus here before we begin the third quarter. This is OSBA and Bears TV. I'm Ryan Greco, and I'm being joined here, of course, by Tony McIntyre. We'll be back to you in just a few minutes. It is 64-37 AI Prep over Vaughan Secondary School. Some more footage. Okay, and we are back here on Bears TV. It is OSBA, one of the games of the week here. My name's Ryan Greco. I'm taking care of your play-by-play. I'm joined by Coach Tony McIntyre here, providing some color commentary for this game. Second half just about to get underway. It is 64-37 for AI Prep over Vaughan Secondary School so far in this game. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm interested to see what kind of changes and what kind of attitudes these guys come out of the locker room with the second half.
Absolutely, and we're going to start off with Vaughan holding possession of the ball. And it's going to be the inbound to Kwawakume, who had a very impressive first half attacking the basket. Just a little bit of bad luck under the rim, if you will.
Yeah, I think, this half's going to be O'Shea. It's going to be the point guard and Cassius here. They've got to put in some work.
There we go. It's a turnover for AI Prep getting possession of the ball back now. And here's Washington. Washington looking for options. Nice little crossover dribble there. And pass out to Brissett. Brissett to Plummer. Plummer now. Washington. And it seems like
on the clock here.
4, 3, 2, 1. And not the cleanest offensive set you could ask for, but AI Prep gets the rebound. That's O'Shea Brissett now. Over to Blair. Back out to Blair. That's a long two, and it's going to be out of bounds. Not exactly the start you would want if you were Coach Kubina right now for AI Prep.
No, kind of settling for threes there, 2 threes. Within the first minute on 2 possessions in a row. So I think you got to go back to what started off this game good for them was attacking and looking to share it for easy buckets.
Here's Kwawakume. Looking for an option there. Finds one. That's Todd. Todd trying to do a crossover on Brissett, and he's going to get the foul.
Yeah, he's got to move his feet there. He's reaching in with his arms, and
yep,
going to get that call every time.
That's one of those cases where I think you're just relying a little bit too much on your size. You still got to move your feet. I think full kudos goes to Todd on that as well, trying to take on the bigger defender. I mean, even if it, when you take on a defender like that, you're really kind of more looking for someone to kind of cut open in that moment. And it did work out for them for the most part. Todd now.
It did. It gets them,
foul trouble,
one
right?
One foul closer to sitting there shooting easy ones.
Yep, exactly. And there's Todd. No good, though, and that goes out. And there's another miscommunication here between Giovanni Scott and Howard Washington Jr. under the basket for AI Prep, and now it's going to be Vaughan ball once again.
Yeah, and I mean, if I'm Coach Cabina, I'm okay with that because, shows they're both going after it, and it's better than both of them standing thinking each other was going to get it.
Absolutely. You'd rather have aggressive mistakes. What a find inside there.
It's a great finish.
Great finish, taking advantage of AI Prep smelling blood in the water. Tried to go and dive on the ball, but it left, and there's a miss. That left Taylor Douglas open under the basket for an easy bucket. And now, once again, we've got another bit of a mess up there on the offensive end, and Vaughan's going to get it back. This is Small Martin. Over to Todd, over to Kwawakume. Kwawakume now.
See Vaughan getting a lot of pin down action and trying to free guys up at the top to be either able to attack or get some threes there.
And there's Kwawakume. Blair gets it right back.
Good lead pass there by Howard Washington.
Yes, it was. Taylor Douglas. Into Kwawakume. What a find.
Great find inside there.
Great find, great finish with the left hand.
Good patience by O'Shea to wait for that cut to start in action there to find him.
There it is. There's another great find.
So we're seeing some good court vision here.
And you tend to always see that around in the second half. Now the nerves are kind of settled. Guys are starting to kind of get into what they know they can be good at in this game and tendencies. There's Scott there knocking one away off of Cash's Small Martin.
Yeah, it's you know, you see what Vaughan now is kind of like you said, nerves are gone, and they're coming out saying, listen, we're down 20, we got nothing to lose. Let's go at these guys.
Absolutely. You'd hope that your players would approach it with that kind of mentality as well. Not afraid to make aggressive mistakes.
You see them aggressively attacking that paint and you know, kind of surveying the land there.
There's a find inside. No finish. The rebound, though, Scott with those long arms once again. And the long arms of AI Prep. There's a block. But Vaughan says no easy buckets.
Yeah, I mean, I look at Gus on the bench, and, you know, he's not upset at Cassius taking that foul. It's something where, you know, he's actively going after that and, you know, make him work for it here.
Really, that's all you could ask for at this point, especially when you're facing a team that's just bigger than you. When you're an undersized team taking on a team like AI Prep, you have to be physical.
Yeah, you have to. Body then ball, body ball.
Yep. Otherwise, they're going to run wild on you. So this is Jordan Lyons now at the line. Makes the second. 1 for 2 from the line on that go around there. Noticing that now, we're seeing a lot of guys going 50% on these opportunities from the foul line on both sides.
Yeah, it's you know, something that obviously every team and every coach is emphasizing on, and it's something just in general that, you know, we all got to become better free throw shooters because those are free.
Absolutely. And imagine the differences in some of these games and the scores and why some teams may be so close, even though they may not look that great on paper compared to others. Well, you look at the stat sheet, oh, what's that, 18 of 22 from the free throw line? Well, that can mean a lot.
It makes all the difference in close games. It makes all the difference in blowouts even.
Exactly. It can keep a team from getting blown out. When you talk about these, you know, going with what we're saying, Kwawakume now, he's getting the ball back now. Going to try and find something, do it himself, right to the basket.
He's
just
doing
blows
a great
by his
job
defender.
Just getting to the paint, and he's getting what he wants right now.
Yes, he is. He's having a fantastic game today. Here's Washington to the basket, finds it. Washington, going back to what you were speaking about before, Tony, the patience. Find the screens, get himself by. Nice and easy. And there's a big block by Giovanni Scott. He gets it back. That was on Ja'Cory Hunt. Scott, no good. There's the putback by Lyons.
It's a good run. Again, it's kind of that theme is if you run the floor, good things will happen.
Absolutely, and that's a it's a 4-point swing. Puts the lead back up to a considerable size, and there's another one here for Howard Washington. He's going to get the layup. Now, if you're a coach, do you want Cassius to try and foul him there, or is it?
I think it's kind of risky. In FIBA, you're taking that foul, you may give him right back that ball there and take a chance. I think, you know, on anything a little closer inside, I think I'd take that foul and stop the play.
Well said. It's going to be Vaughan ball now. 78-43, 5:11 to go here in the third quarter. AI Prep has not let up one bit, despite a couple of big threes from Vaughan to kick off this second half.
It just seems like every time Vaughan starts to go on a little run here, AI counters it.
There's Kwawakume trying to find another floater. They get the ball back, though. No good. But there's Vaughan fighting for it, holding on to it. And it looks like there might be an injury there. Trying to see who that is on the floor here. See on the replay here.
It's his hamstring there, grabbing the back of his leg. I think, you know, as a coach, that's the last thing you want to see when you got, you know, 5, 6 guys sitting on the bench not able to play right now. Is another guy trying to, you know, come up off the floor here.
Yeah, that's Kyle Mongeru, and I think he might have just gotten Charlie horse there because when we're looking at the replay, it really just was a bunch of feet around him, shifting around.
Yeah. You see trainer Eric Matias going down there. Is, you know, one of the best in the business there. He'll have it figured out in no time.
He's a former classmate of mine at Humber College. He was talented then. He's even more talented now.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he's just going to go stretch it out there, and I think you'll see him back in no time.
Yeah. Well, you get this opportunity here. You know, we're looking at a number of these teams and, you know, this whole league in general, and just the amount of times that these teams are facing each other, getting to know each other a bit better. Speaking of that, though, you said there was an event we were talking about off the air where Nike had a lot of the teams over to do a photo shoot. Talk a little bit about that event.
Well, it was a great opportunity that Nike put on for all the Nike sponsored high school teams here in the OSBA and even outside of the OSBA. It was an opportunity where six Nike sponsored teams got together, had different activities that related back to the court, but also got to bond with other teams other than just your own. So it was, well put on, well thought out, and I thought it was a great experience for these kids to be a part of something a little bit bigger than just their high school team, but be a part of something together as a unit.
Absolutely, and you can imagine that they'll bring that home with them, whether it's to their high schools, whether it's to their club teams, because not all of these guys are playing are necessarily playing all prep all the time. A lot of these guys come from very humble beginnings. They're still playing for their neighborhoods like they are here in Vaughan. A lot of these players are local kids. And I can imagine that when they're bringing that kind of professionalism and that kind of attitude towards their club teams, everyone can feel like they deserve a little bit more playing the game of basketball in this country.
Yeah, I think they all feed off it and kind of sets them aside a little bit from an experience standpoint to be able to, when they speak up, the other guys are going to listen now because, they're speaking from knowledge and being a part of that. So
absolutely.
I think it was well thought out, well put on, and the feedback I got from all the teams that participated was that they really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I think that's the most important thing at this time right now is that, given the amount of influx of talent that we're now seeing, we're kind of, Canada reaping what it's sowing, and just the country in general, not even any specific athletic commissions or anything like that. But just having that kind of sense of togetherness and having that sense of unity, I think, is going to be something that's going to be very important moving forward through this golden generation because, those kind of divisions can create a lot of issues on all stages and at all levels, and people lose out on that.
Yeah, and I think that's what you've seen is over the last several years. The reason that these kids are successful is because everybody's participating and working as a unit together, whether it's elementary school teachers, high school teachers, prep teachers, OBA, provincial team coaches, AAU coaches. Everyone's
a lot of volunteer hours.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And that's what you're seeing now happen on the big stage as a result of all the hours that all those people put in when the lights aren't on.
Yep, absolutely. Now here we are, just over 3 minutes to go here in the third quarter, 80-43. And there's Patterson going up for a shot, no good. That's one thing I want to see, Coach. I want to see these guys because I see them take these shots all the time in games. A small forward or a power forward or a shooting guard especially, and even point guards to a certain extent, when they're attacking the basket and they're going up against this taller guy, they always do that little kind of sky running hook that you see so many of the Europeans are so good at.
Yeah.
I remember watching the Pan Am games and watching Argentina taking on Canada, and they had a guy there that was maybe about 5'10", 5'11". Now, he was an accomplished player in Europe, but every single time a guy like Anthony Bennett and all of his 6'8" frame would go up and try and block this guy, he would just skyhook it over and it would drop in every single time. It's something I want to see these guys try and practice a little bit more.
Yeah, it's kind of hit and miss because I get a lot of feedback from some of the guys that we had go play college, and it's interesting because a lot of college coaches hate that floater shot, and and then in contrast, you look at when they play for Team Canada or they're playing AAU, that floater shot is a go-to. So it's I think the high percentage shot they want is a stop and pop and thing. But if you could perfect that's a money ball right there.
Oh, absolutely. It just makes you deadlier against taller defenders, I find.
Yeah, definitely.
Here we go, Todd in the corner. Here's Mershai. He passes it off to Todd. And here's Rodriguez. Back to Mershai. Mershai, no good on the three there, but the rebound up and in. Just missed. That's a big rebound there by AI Prep. Patterson to Blair. Blair breaks down his defender. Into the basket. Foul. Doesn't get the and one, but what a take.
That was good. Good shifty little play to create his way into the paint there, and he tried to make you proud there with that little floater at the end. So.
He's actually one of the better guys at it. You see him practice it a little bit more than most players, or use it more in games.
Yeah, I think that's got to be in your tool belt.
Mm-hmm. It's a weapon, right? It's another offensive weapon to have, and that's the whole point of basketball. Put the ball in the hoop.
Yep.
And if you can do it in ways that other people can't, it's always going to distinguish you.
Yep, no doubt.
I also just want to say that we do have a substitution that happened about a minute ago. That's Ben Hendricks now on the floor playing center for AI Prep as they now move to a 2-3 zone on this Vaughan team. You can imagine to see a couple of three-point shots here, Coach?
I would think that you're going to. I mean, you know, they were taking them in the first half, and now, you know, you got a reason to take them.
Yep, 84-43 now. Patterson gets to the line as well. And there's Patterson. So far, I'd consider him my MVP so far. Now, it's funny because earlier this week we had Shea Brown make his OSBA debut for Father Henry Carr against Lincoln Prep, and he finished with, I believe, 22 points on the night. So we always tend to see whenever guys are coming in for the first time, they always feel like they got something to prove, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I think you start to think that you're playing from behind the 8 ball a little bit, and you've been sitting there waiting for your turn, so you start to push a little bit, and you know they're coming back ready.
Yep. Patterson taking full advantage of that today. Sinks that one. Sinks both free throws.
It's good to see his confidence out here as a 2020 kid too. You know, playing against a lot of older guys is, you know, you're going to be in store for a lot out of him over the next couple of years.
So that would make him, along with Mabeni Nam, the two youngest players on this team.
Yep. You know, I think these are games where you get to see, you know, if guys are paying attention in practice and coming in off the bench and being able to get some really valuable playing time here.
That's definitely the case as we have a timeout here. We will be back in just a second with 1:19 to go here. It's 86-43 for AI Prep over Vaughan Secondary School here in Orangeville. We'll be back in just a moment. Okay, we're back here. Bears TV. AI Prep taking on Vaughan Secondary. 86-43, just over a minute to go here in the third quarter. It was up and under and miss. Of course, I'm Ryan Greco. I'm being joined here by Coach Tony McIntyre. He's going to be providing color commentary for this game. Doing a pretty good job so far. This is his debut, his broadcasting debut.
Yeah, I'm having fun. It's you start to really have to think the game through every second rather than just being a spectator.
Absolutely. And see, I always find it helpful for myself as well because, you know, this is a shameless plug. I work with as an assistant coach sometimes with the St. Joseph Secondary School team out in Mississauga, who's doing a lot of great things right now, especially the senior team, defending ROPSA champions, also taking Orangeville Prep right down to the wire at the Father Henry Carr Classic. But, you know, doing a job like this and seeing all of this, it forces you to see the game in real time. And there's a fantastic take there.
Finish.
Cassius Small Martin. And you just see his body. He looks like a football player in a sense, you know, like just his physicality going to the basket.
He's fearless. He's a kid that, you know, as good of an offensive player as you watch him pay attention on defense. He's very smart and crafty.
And able to make that free throw, though. 48 seconds remaining now. AI Prep's going to run it. And there's the three, corner three. No good, just a little short. That's no good there. That was J.J. Sador that was short on the three-point shot, but Javon Blair making up for it at the line. Talk to me a little bit about Sador. This is first action he's getting in this game.
Another young kid, was at Henry Carr for the last 2 years, and he's getting his action here. He's a shooter, left-hand kid, and he's buying his time and working out there. So he's got a lot of good guys to learn from.
Oh, definitely. Now, speaking of picking spots, there's Ben Hendricks, all 6'10" of him going up into the rim, easy finish.
His development has been great over the last 2 years, and I've seen him progress all the way from elementary school.
There's Blair, a couple seconds left, no good. The last minute, but just before that, we had another nice basket there by Cassius Small-Martin, and he's having himself a bit of a game.
He really is. I mean, you look at the two factors in there right now, and that's Cassius and Ben, who are out there just balling right now and kind of having their own way with what they want to do.
Absolutely. And now going into this fourth quarter, I mean, the score. It's widened out a little bit here. We're dealing with about a 42-point difference, 89 to 47. Final quarter. What else can you really tell? What can you really say to these players if you're on Vaughan secondary?
Well, I think if you're Vaughan right now, you want to really use this 10 minutes for you see they're getting a lot of guys that are off the bench playing and even the starters are still rotating through. So, Gus isn't a guy who's just going to sit down and stop coaching. He's going to use this to make sure that they can run some things and, identify different defenses and start to get his team to believe that they could execute against those defenses for the next game. Mm-hmm. And, on the flip side, you're looking at Coach Cabina over there is telling his guys that don't play a lot, these are the things you need to do to play a lot, and these are the things that I'd like to see going into this fourth quarter is, that they're going to execute and run plays, not just get out and run. They've pretty well got this game in hand. I think you want to see them work on their offense and start to lock in some things.
Yep. And I can speak from personal experience of being somebody who's been at the end of the bench and has also been a starter, that when you're at the end of the bench, you really it's this interesting balance of making sure that obviously you want to do the right things and play within the team, but you also want to take advantage of the moments that you get, right? And this is going to be one of those moments for these guys.
It really is. It's unfortunate, but in basketball, you're kind of waiting. That's a great finish there.
Yeah, there it is. Speaking of guys taking advantage, there's Ben Hendricks.
You're sitting on the bench waiting to play, and you look up at the scoreboard, and you're getting 10 minutes coming. It's not even like you got to push now. You just got to go in and play.
Yeah, absolutely. Now on the game, checking into the game for the first time here to start off this fourth quarter is number 10, John Duell of AI Prep. He's going to be somebody there with an opportunity. And I like this idea, though, of keeping O'Shea Brissett on the floor, keeping Howard Washington, guys that have great court vision.
You get some leadership out there. You get the young guys that have someone that they could trust and be able to execute.
There's Ben Hendricks.
You see Ben being active on the glass there.
That's Ben Too Tall Hendricks over there with the finish under the rim. Rodriguez over to Small-Martin, over to Todd. There's a block by Hendricks, and
Good job staying straight up.
Yep. Didn't even leave his feet for that one. There's the corner.
It's in rhythm.
Oh, what a putback by O'Shea Brissett with his left hand. And that is why he's going to Syracuse, ladies and gentlemen.
That's something that we actually talked about is I'd like to see him chase down those offensive rebounds a little bit more. And if he does that at Syracuse, he might not be there long.
Here's hoping. Here's Washington. Kick out. There's Duell. No good on the three. There's Washington with a rebound now. And going back to that leadership you were talking about, Coach, getting those boards, he loses it there, but creating opportunities, trying to set up players.
And that's there. That's
finish.
That's a great finish. And defensively, that's where, as a coach, you really start to talk about the wall up and allowing that secondary help to kind of finish that play off. I think if they would have walled up there and Ben, Hendricks had the initial stop, O'Shea could go play glass. I think you turn that from a foul into a block there.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when you have two players the size that they are. Very extremely long arms, and I don't think I could have said it much better, so we'll just leave it at that. Here's Kyle Mungru at the line, 6'5" forward, class of 2018, with the impressive finish at the rim there over both Brissett and Hendricks. There's a missed shot, and Ja'Cory Hunt, who had a very good first half, kind of disappeared in the second.
Yeah, he's been quiet. He's got to get back going here. They got a good group of guys on the floor here. So.
Yep. There's a fine, and they're really.
Good pass for
yep.
Howard looking for Ben in there, letting him go to work a little bit.
Exactly.
You know, that's a senior guy saying, "Hey, young boy, here you go."
Yep. And there's Hendricks now. Finds out to Washington. Washington in the corner, and he's just distributing every chance he can. No bucket. I think the call there was a travel. Let's take a quick look at the replay here if we can find it in time.
I think he stepped out of bounds in
Let's
the
take a look
corner
here.
on the shot.
Yeah. Yeah, he was out of bounds there. It's tough though. It's, you know, that NBA three-point line. It can make it real tight in those corners.
There he goes. The bank's open
Hunt.
for Ja'Cory there, right on cue.
Ja'Cory Hunt, and Prep almost turned it over there. Giovanni Scott had to pick it up. And if I'm not even gonna lie, if I was Vaughan right now, just keep feeding the ball to Ja'Cory Hunt. See how many he can make.
Yeah, I like that find right there for Howard Washington. You know, he hit J.J. Sador in the corner there. Unfortunately, stepped out of bounds, but very next play, you know, comes right back to him.
And there's
Ja'Cory right back at him again.
There you go, Ja'Cory Hunt. They're leaving him open. He's taking full advantage.
I think I go right back to J.J. here again.
Definitely.
J.J. and Ja'Cory go at it. I think Howard's doing a good job mixing it up inside there and working between Ben and J.J. here.
I think one thing we've seen here in this start of this fourth quarter is Howard Washington. He's gotten a pass off. He's gotten a potential assist off to every single player that's coming on, to every single sub that's came on into this game so far.
Yeah, and that's, you know, when you sit back and look at Howard, his strength is he's an ultimate leader. He's a guy that you know would like to see assists first, but he's such a good scorer that he's got the ability to put that shot up or get to the bucket when he wants to. So for him, it's balancing out there, you know, teammate involvement and still being able to take some for him.
Definitely. And there's John Zool. He got the ball knocked loose off of him. See the importance of don't leave the ball down there. And no go, Sador. Try to get it back, and now it's Hunt. But Sador knocked it loose. Makes up for it on the defensive end, getting able to knock loose the ball there off of Hunt.
I think this is, you know, you look at the time here for John Dool to get this much playing time right here is going to be invaluable for him. And, you know, recently coming to AI
Yes.
from South Sudan, his ability to get involved is critical here.
Absolutely. And there's Patterson, the other 2020 kid, able to get a quick bucket there. He had a fantastic game. I think you could call this a success for him. There it is, a putback. Giovanni Scott bringing it up now, gives it to Patterson. Patterson for three. Jays it. So clean, he hit the back of the rim. And he is in cruise control right now offensively.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get what he wants.
There's a find to Sador.
Great find
Puts
to
it
JJ.
in. And there's something for you. This prep team, with their reserves on right now, they have not been giving anything up. As a matter of fact, they've been extending their lead so far. It's up to 47.
It's a great find in the corner there.
Yes, it is. And once again, though, Vaughn's showing if you leave them open, they're going to hit those shots.
Yeah, I think this is going to be some good, you know, game tape for Gus to go back and say, guys, when we did things right and we got that ball moving and we got pitch outs, we were successful.
They were in this game. It's just a matter of taking care of the basketball. Here's Todd now, going to go up himself. No good, too strong. Tried to weave himself through the trees there, but there he gets it right back and showing that fight. And there's the block, gets the foul. There's Giovanni Scott walking over. Don't necessarily know why there. It was a clean steal, and then he got a block. Not much to be upset about, really.
No, nothing at all, really. I mean, it was Clean block. I think he got called for a technical foul there for what he did after the block.
And there's Chris Kobina making a substitution. I think it's good. That's a very good decision, I think, on Coach Kobina's part there. Just diffuse the situation, not allow anything else to kind of get to it. You're up by 43.
I don't even think there was anything there really. I think that's just Giovanni showing a lot of emotion to get the block. I think more so he's probably upset that he turned it over and had to go get the block. So
definitely. And then there's a miss though by Taryn Todd. Going back to free throws, Vaughan not exactly all that successful today from the free throw line. As I say that, of course, Taryn Todd misses both, or missed all three, I think.
Yeah, he missed his 2 for the foul and 1 for the technical foul.
But Vaughan will get the ball back now. Try to put up. That's no good. That was Kyle Mongru. No good. And now here's Patterson again up to the basket. And it's just business as usual for him right now at this point.
I think this AI team is, sat here yesterday watching Orangeville Prep play and preparing for their big matchup next week, December 6th, where they play each other.
So that's going to be the one right there. That'll be our game of the week.
He's hit 2 in a row from there.
There we go. Number 25 for Vaughan. There's Patterson. 3:55 to go here. 12 seconds on the shot clock.
Stepped out of bounds.
Another out of bounds.
JJ's got to locate where he is on the floor. That's 2 times, once on both sides. He stepped out there.
You got to just try and set up a little bit closer to the line.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it earlier. It's those corners is exactly the same as the NBA 3 here. So there's not a lot of room in those corners when you're setting up in there, working out of that area. So you really got to know where you are, and you really got to know that you're not stepping back to do anything. You're moving forward out of those corners.
Absolutely. Now, a question though, you would probably know this better than anybody. Is this an NBA regulation size court, or is it?
So the court itself is an NBA size court. The white markings on the floor is a FIBA 3. But the corners in the FIBA 3 and the NBA are the same. It extends up a couple more, about another 1.5 feet on the corners there, and the NBA would be about 1 foot outside of the white line you see, except for the corners.
I see.
So identical in the corners, a bit further at the top for the NBA.
Okay, I see what you're saying now, because where that kind of break is. Because it goes straight and then the break.
Yeah.
And you're saying that the break is a little bit farther out.
A little bit further out, and which extends that semicircle by another foot.
Okay. Yeah, because we were saying, you go to some of these other schools and we have, to their credit, it's their first year in the OSBA, so they're going to be remarking their gyms come next year. But some of these teams, it almost is a bit of a detriment to the home teams, because they're practicing and you're trying to get a feel for shooting back, but it's like there's no replacement for actually seeing where the line is.
Yeah, I think the teams that definitely have that the FIBA marking on the floors are at such an advantage. So, you take a look between the red and the white out there.
It's a difference.
It's a big difference.
It is.
And vice versa, when you go play teams that don't have it, it's a detriment, because those all seem like mid-range jumpers when you're shooting them. So you're long on everything.
Oh, absolutely. Thornley used that to their full advantage against Vaughan last week. And there's Duel.
Good take by
nice
John
finish
right
there.
If he could do that, that's
a
really
big bucket
valuable
for him. And he's going to learn the game, right? He's
young. He's going to be very, very special. He's another 2020 kid.
Yep. There's a 3, and it's Hunt again. And Hunt, you almost want to make the argument now at this point, if they just kept feeding him the ball early on, this might have been a game.
Yeah, Hunt can really stroke it, and when he gets in his rhythm, it's I've seen him play from younger. When he was in 7th and 8th grade, he was a little, they used to call him Little Dwayne Wade.
There's no good. That's Mershahi. Well, Mershahi had a couple of really good highlights in this game as well for Vaughan. Todd back over to Hunt now. Hunt for 3. That's another 3, a little bit long this time. One of the rare misses for him. And that's going to be off the leg of Kyle Mongru, who earlier had that issue with the hamstring. Good to see him back out on the floor, especially for Coach Gus.
Yeah, I think Gus probably breathed a sigh of relief there.
Definitely.
You look at the, you can't really see it on camera, but you look at the end of the Vaughan bench, and there's more players on the end of the bench than there is, basically on the floor and on the bench combined.
No, seriously, that we're looking. There's more guys in jackets and track pants than there are in shorts and jerseys.
Definitely.
Here's Todd. Todd trying to find an option. Goes inside to Mongru. Mongru finds Mershahi, excuse me. There's Hunt. And he's a little short this time on the 3. 2 minutes remaining in this game, 113-70. Patterson. I would love to know how much Patterson's going to finish with it in this game. He's got to have at least 15.
Yeah, he is. And that's a great find by John Duell.
It goes back to that whole, you're going to get your minutes, so, play within the system. You'll have your moments, really.
There's a great pass by Ja'Cory there.
Yep.
Set him up with a great shot fake and attack through the middle there.
Yep. Mershahi was able to get Hendricks off his feet and up and in. And great find to attack the basket. And that's what you need your point guards to do, though, sometimes. It's more than just standing at the top and calling a play. They've got to create the action, and everyone else has to kind of react to it, so to speak.
Yeah, and I think the key for Ja'Cory here is as well as he's been shooting the ball, is continue to mix it up to keep himself open on that 3 ball.
Mm-hmm. And that's really what it is, right? That was one thing we saw yesterday when Orangeville Prep was playing, where we had for Ridley College, their talented center that they have there is playing for the cadet national team.
Yeah, Jaden Bediako.
Thank you, Bediako. He had this one move he put on Ignas Brzdikis where he did a quick 2-step going to the middle of the paint, little hook shot, and he made it. And it took him 3 different sets for him to go back to that move, and he made it again.
Yeah.
Whereas we're up here in the booth kind of pulling out our hair going, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Go right to the basket, right?
And Jaden's developed so well over the last couple of years. Canada basketball, Mike Meeks put in a lot of time with Jaden, and you're seeing the fruits of their labor now as he's really coming on and probably one of the stronger centers in the OSBA right now.
Oh, very
and
much
still
so.
Really young.
That's right, yeah, absolutely. And he showed it there in that game. And Mongru had a quick layup there before missed a 3 there by AI Prep, and now Vaughan going to try and see if they can break 80 in this game with a minute to go. No good there. Ref says play on.
Yeah, I think they've kind of put their whistles away a little bit.
Yeah, I think that was a good call. There's Lyons with a good finish. Big dunk there.
He's got a outstanding leaping ability.
That's right, 6'7" senior. He's got a few offers on the table. There's Patterson again. Patterson on Hunt. And he gets it with the left hand.
Finish.
And that's such a deadly move in high school basketball if you can finish with your left hand, because even at this level, this is arguably the top level of high school in the country. And you're still seeing guys you'll still see occasionally players that'll try and switch to their right when they're going to the basket. And you're expending so much unnecessary energy. It's just such a deadly weapon to be able to finish with your left.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a skill you got to have.
There's a Hendricks rebound.
I'll give a shout out with 30 seconds left here to Howard Washington Sr., who just sent me a text listening in from Buffalo, New York.
Howard. Well, thank you for tuning in and joining us. Appreciate it. There's no good. 22 seconds remaining here in this game. So Vaughan is now going to fall to 1-6 on the season. AI Prep, they're going to improve to 7-0.
Yeah, it's I think the last 2 undefeated teams are AI Prep and Orangeville Prep, and that'll come to an end next week.
There it is, exactly.
Someone's got to lose.
That's it. But so far, there's the game as it finishes out.
That was a good game for a lot of players, both sides, to get some extra playing time there. And and for coaches to see guys, especially with the injuries Vaughan suffering, to be able to maybe go to a couple guys a little deeper in their next couple games until some of their injured guys return.
Absolutely, and I think one thing you could take away from this, if you're Vaughan, is that due to the injuries you're facing right now, and even going up against a team like this, all you can do is take away the positives. You got to take away the options and the moments where you got those buckets, where you made the right decisions, and always note the mistakes that you might have made. But your coach is there for that as well to tell you.
Yeah, he is, and I mean, Gus came in knowing that he was shorthanded, and they got here about an hour and a half before the game, and he was out there on the floor with them, shooting and warming up and putting them through a small workout before the game. So I mean, even though he knows he's shorthanded, he's not quitting on these guys. He's out there coaching them up and getting them ready to the best of his ability. And I know he'll sit down and regroup if he isn't already, and really take away the positives, and also make a list of the stuff he'd like to work on.
Definitely. And now, final thoughts for this game. You've had a chance now to sit here and watch Orangeville Prep play last night. You've got AI Prep playing tonight, going into the mega match next week to find out who's going to remain undefeated. What are some of the things that we could look forward to in that game, and some of the strengths and weaknesses both teams might be having going into it?
Well, I think, I touched base a little bit with the AI team. Is, they really had to adjust tonight to coming out to a quick start. When you watch Orangeville Prep, their chemistry, their quick starts, their ability to jump on teams early is evident, and they set the tone from an early, from the jump ball for that matter. So I think it was big for AI to kind of get a good start under their belt today. I think it's going to come down to really who's going to put the effort in, who's going to put the heart in, and who wants it the most. Both are very talented teams, probably the two most talented teams from 1 through 12 that AI or OP's ever had. And so it's going to come down to which guys show up to play, which guys want it more, which team it means the most to make sure they don't take that first L. And I think both teams are going to emphasize a quick start, and I think both teams are really going to come. If years past is any indication, we're in for a good one next week.
Oh, definitely. So with that being said, be sure not to miss that next week. We also have a game tomorrow where I'm going to be in Southwest to watch the girls OSBAs, which is also happening this year, the first year of the women's OSBAs. A lot of talented teams there. We've got Guelph taking on Southwest. So that's also going to be another fantastic matchup to look at.
Yeah, I mean, the girls OSBA is a league that I think is going to really change the landscape of basketball if it hasn't already in Ontario. And I think even forget the talented players. You go from team to team on the girls' side and look at the coaching staffs, and I think you're working with some of the best high school coaches, prep school coaches on the girls' side with connections to the provincial teams, the national team, and I think they're being coached up, and I think it's going to really help with the development of basketball on the women's side.
Absolutely. So make sure you check that out tomorrow. That's going to be a start time at 1 o'clock on OSBA TV here on YouTube. For Bears TV, though, and for myself, I'm Ryan Greco. I'm being joined here by Tony McIntyre. Be sure to check out our next game of the week, which is going to be Tuesday, December 6th here at Athlete Institute. It's going to be the battle of the undefeateds.
Battle of the Bears.
Absolutely. If there's going to be a game for you to watch this year, that will be the one to watch.
Yeah, it definitely will. And I mean, if you can't get out, we'd love to have you out. But if you can't get out, it's definitely one to watch. Would rather see you here in person, because it's going to be a great event, a great night with a lot of prizes, a lot of giveaways, a lot of entertainment that we're really putting in as a celebration to our fan appreciation and teacher appreciation night.
Absolutely. And so with Coach Tony McIntyre, I'd like to thank you so much for taking the time joining us on this broadcast today. It's been fantastic. How did you like your first broadcast?
I liked it. It's fun. It's a lot harder than I thought, and it really does let you look at the game from a different perspective, because you really focus in on the team that you're supporting versus looking at both from a real objective angle, and it's different.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I appreciate you letting me come on here with you, and anytime you're short, I'll fill in.
Oh, I'd love to have you back up again soon. So for Coach Tony, I'm Ryan Greco. We will see you guys tomorrow on OSBA TV. It is Guelph taking on Southwest out in London. And tonight, final score, 120 for AI Prep over Vaughan, 78. We will see you next time.
See ya.